As a shooting games, first-player shooter or FPS is one of the most played game genres that always has so many players who love to play it. No wonder the total download on some games is reaching for more than 10 million players. Actually, this achievement is really crazy and insane. For a mobile game, this game reached such a wide market that makes a lot of huge companies and also indie want to compete to create the best FPS games for mobile. Remember to like this video and help us to reach 200 likes, thanks. Top 10 Best New FPS Android 2024 and iOS Online or Offline Update. You can support this channel and send us a special thanks. Polygon's FPS Shooter Strike. For the first game, I would like to give you the best FPS offline games to play and really playable to play for low-end phones. Even if the game size is about 100 MB, which is I'm sure everyone is able to play in a higher setting. We can log in by using the guest account to access the offline mode, but we should finish the tutorial first and start playing a team deathmatch with the bots. The gameplay of Polygon's FPS Shooter Strike is really attractive. We can use a skill and it will need a cooldown. Try to slash your enemies with your sword as a melee combat and it will deal instant damage. Two guns will be available to use, but we cannot change into a different guns because the looting features is not available yet. Hopefully the developers will add these features on then. This is the best FPS offline game for mobile. Rage Effect Mobile. This is one of the best new FPS games for mobile that's available to play in two different modes, which is offline mode and also online mode. Try to participate the game in offline mode first to face the bot, but their damage is really high actually. So this is the best way to learn your aim and sensitivity because in online mode, most of the players have a high shooting accuracy with a great movement. Try to hide behind the object around us to block the enemy's forces and gets the best timing to fight back then. Before we start the combat, we can adjust the number of the goals target and how long we will play the game. I play the game in a maximum setting, which is the ultra graphic, then I never find any issues. It's totally worth the game. Especially right now, this game is in beta, I wonder how the graphic will become then. Rage Effect Mobile has a small size, it's about 1 GB in total. Call of Duty Warzone Mobile. There is some reason why this game is getting lower score than the previous version. First, the developer cannot maintain the laggy issues. Even the performance is quite slow and that will not make the player enjoy the game's experience at all. But if your phone has a higher spec, then congratulations for enjoying the best FPS online with the most competitive game on mobile right now. Call of Duty Warzone Mobile is the other version of the previous version, but it's a really different gameplay, especially in the Battle Royale. The graphic and how the visual seems quite darker. The gameplay is more realistic with slower movement and action. So this is the main difference between the COD Mobile and Warzone Mobile, but overall I would like to play both of them which run perfectly on my phone. Team Deathmatch is really competitive with a hardcore gameplay by the real-time players. Unfortunately, on the Play Store it gets 2.8 stars. What do you think about this game? Blood Strike. As a newcomer, this game successfully becomes the best new brand FPS shooter games for mobile. It's been downloaded over 1 million players and I know the reason why, especially the players giving a high rate score on any platforms on mobile. The main reason is the graphics are insane and how the game is really affordable to play on mid-range phones. The connection is really stable, the gameplay is super fast, smooth and dynamic. The team deathmatch lets the player to play side by side because we can revive the other friends who's got shooting by the enemy. We'll fight within 6 stages and the team with the highest score will become the winner. Every hero that we pick will have their own special skills that only able to unleash once the cooldown time is ready. Actually, Blood Strike has so many features and modes that we can try with friends and invite them to join your rooms and turn on the mic to communicate better while in-game. Seriously, Blood Strike is the best graphic FPS game shooting for Android and iOS. Europe Front Remaster. I don't know exactly why this game has the remaster word on the Play Store because I never noticed about the previous version. This is one of the best single-player FPS games and able to play offline. Our main mission is to complete every single mission through campaign mode. We must kill and wipe out every single enemy in a certain number. There is free weapon that we will be able to use and it's really limited gun. We can reload on the ammo multiple times and start shooting the enemy. Honestly, the game's level difficulty is way too easy. Even if the enemy will do a monotone shooting aim, so we can easily avoid it by running actions. This is a good game for newbies who want to learning the FPS games. You can play these offline FPS games on Android. Area 5. Area 5. This is one of the best FPS games online for mobile. Have played this game on beta testing and really love to see the game's progress. It has so much potential when this game released globally. The graphic looks like a cartoon in 3D realistic visual. The game will combine with a new features where we can unleash a different skill within a different characters. Some of the characters are able to unlock when we have enough in-game gold to spend with. We will compete between 5 versus 5, blue team and red teams. The estimate time is about 8 minutes and we should get the higher score to clear the games. The game speed is pretty dynamic and super fast. I feel a hard time to win the games because the level of difficulty is really hard. Most of the player can aim perfectly from a far view distance that makes us need to stay aware by hiding behind the object. Area 5 is the best upcoming FPS shooter games for Android and iOS. Frontline. WW2 Frontline 1942 war game. I really love the game's developer, the only creator that get us back into a medieval era on World War II. It feels so realistic, the ambience, the vibes, and how the gun looks like is 100% represented the WW2 era. The gameplay seems quite slow, the movement and how we shoot the target is not so dynamic if we compare with the other games, but this thing makes me feel more of a realistic experience. When we started the game, we already had some weapons and support aids like HP potions and also some grenades to explode the entire enemy with a single shot. Actually, we only had 2 games options, which were the team deathmatch and also team battles. I highly recommend you to play the team battles because we will get a vision on playing with our friends while on the screen. But trust me, the game's level difficulty is really easy. Even I can strike the entire enemy multiple times without getting killed by them. This is one of the best FPS shooter games in the medieval era. Project Bridge 2. Project Bridge 2 Co-op. This is a new brand of offline FPS games. The game size is pretty small but you cannot expect more visuals because I have put the game setting into maximum but I don't get the higher graphic while in game. In fact, the game will run perfectly without any issues at all. No wonder it's about 300 MB size in total. The gameplay is really unique. We can select a different mission based on which map we are selecting. Some of them will have eliminate the mission and survival mission. The game mechanism let us play manually without playing the auto fire. We cannot lock the target perfectly from a far distance. We need to come closer to hit the target then. Seriously, the developer have a lot of work to do to enhance the gameplay and graphic. Rainbow Six Mobile. Rainbow Six Mobile have waited for this game for a long time. The game did several beta testing already and I see the game's progress is increasing significantly. The gameplay will blow your mind and I'm sure you will get a new game experience. It's full of a tactical and strategy FPS games where we become an attacker team or defender teams. As an attacker, we need to do a big effort on sabotage the enemy's territory zone to make the chaos of their area. Always try to get the right timing to come closer to the opposite team because the area will block by many kinds of the objects. Try to climb to the wall to do a flank attack from blind spot area. As a defender, it's quite difficult to protect our objective. Unfortunately, we'll pick randomly between those teams. This is the new gameplay of FPS shooter games for mobile. Are you excited about it? Please comment below. Battlezone PvP. Battlezone PvP FPS shooter. This is my favorite game FPS offline game. Seriously, even I play the game with some bots, but their level difficulty is really hard. Their aim seems like I'm facing the actual real players. I cannot underestimate every single enemy that we face. They all seem pretty tactical. Most of the enemy will hit us from any directions. Sometimes they will hit us from behind as well. So we need to be active on rotating the point of view to analyze the situation. Lucky we are, the developer give us an aim assist to support us on lock down the target easily, and also turn on the auto fire to make a fast respawn while facing the enemy in sudden. There are so many maps area selections we can pick just before the combat start, which makes the player feel so refreshed on every single battle. The game size is really small, it's about 100 MB, then we get the best FPS offline games for mobile. This is one of the most hardcore FPS games for mobile. Carnage Wars. Bonus Carnage Wars. As a bonus, I would add this game for it. The game's graphics are great for FPS games with a small size, which is only 100 MB plus. Seriously, the gameplay is super fast and dynamic. We need to aim faster than the enemy. On this video, I played the game offline mode, but as you can see, the enemy is really active in moving directions and it made us get difficult to lock the target. I have checked on the Play Store and the developer is super active on updating the game. The game's map has more than 2 areas that are available to select, and also how the regular pacing is getting optimized by them. These all are the best FPS games online and offline that you all need to concern and try. Remember to like this video and help us get 200 likes on the video. See you on the next video. Thanks.